Hey there, deep divers.
Mm.
Have you ever gotten one of those messages about a business opportunity?
Mm.
And it just seemed too good to be true.
Yeah.
Like you make a fortune, but only if you got like a ton of other people to join. Today, we are going deep on those schemes. They're called matrix schemes, so you'll know what to look for.
These schemes are interesting. They tap into our desire for wealth. But there are hidden catches.
Right, so what is a matrix scheme exactly? I know they're always compared to those chain letters, but how does that work?
Imagine a chain letter. But instead of passing it on, you pay to join the chain. Then you convince others to do the same. Less focus on the product, and more on expanding that chain. That's the core of a matrix scheme, pyramid structure. Money flows upwards. Early birds benefit at the expense of those who join later.
Okay, so let's say I get sucked into one of these schemes.
Yeah.
What would my first steps be?
First, you would probably be asked to pay a fee to join, like a buy-in to get a piece of the action. And then the pressure starts. You need to recruit new members to fill your spot in the matrix. That's where the pyramid shape comes in.
So it's not just me being part of the scheme. I have to bring in more people.
Exactly. Big payouts. But there's a catch. You need to recruit even more people to receive the full amount. Never-ending cycle of recruitment. Ultimately benefits those at the top.
That's a little unsettling. And what about this matrix everyone keeps mentioning? Our source material mentioned 2x2 and 3x3 structures.
Those refer to how many people you need to recruit at each level of a pyramid. 2x2 means you bring in 2, they each bring in 2, and so on. 3x3 matrix, 3 recruits, each find 3 more. It grows fast.
So the bigger the matrix, the more people you need to bring in. Sounds tough to keep going.
Absolutely. Relies on exponential growth. Simply not sustainable. Like a house of cards.
Speaking of making it last, what about cycling? What's that?
Imagine you fill your spot in the matrix. They offer to cycle you into a new position within the matrix, resetting your progress, like being promised a prize for winning a game. Then you got to start over to get it.
So even if you win, you're back to square one.
Exactly. Tactic designed to prolong the scheme and keep people invested, even when it's clearly not in their best interest.
This is starting to sound bad. Let's say I'm being pitched one of these amazing opportunities. What are some red flags? What should make me suspicious?
One of the biggest is if the focus is mainly on recruitment, not on the actual product or service. If it feels like they're more excited about you building a downline than about the actual business. Major warning sign.
So if it feels like a pyramid building contest and not a real business.
Exactly. Another, the promise of unrealistically high returns in a short amount of time sounds too good to be true. It probably is.
Okay, so we've got, if someone's pitching me something, all about recruitment and getting rich fast, that's shady. But how about the way they explain how I'd get paid? What should I look out for there?
The compensation structure, if it's vague, complex, or seems to reward recruiting more than selling, red flag. Legitimate businesses, usually upfront about how you earn Rudra.
Got it. So if I don't understand how the money's coming in, that's bad.
Definitely. Be wary of pressure to pay big upfront fees or recruit others quickly to get your investment back, creating urgency so you don't think it through.
Like they want me to jump in without thinking.
Exactly, finally. If the product or service seems like an afterthought, like it's just there to mask the recruitment focus, huge red flag.
Even if there is a product, it's just a problem.
Legitimate businesses are built on offering value to customers. If the product seems secondary, sign the business model might be flawed.
Okay, this is starting to feel less like an exciting opportunity, more like danger zone.
Yeah.
But is it illegal or just unethical?
Often both, in many places. Straight up illegal. In the U.S., for example, the Federal Trade Commission considers them pyramid schemes, which are prohibited.
So the FTC, they're like the watchdog. What power do they have to shut these schemes down?
Quite a bit. They can investigate, file lawsuits, issue cease and desist orders, even impose fines on individuals and companies involved.
So it's not just a warning,
Yeah.
real consequences.
Absolutely. Not limited to the U.S. Many countries have similar agencies. UK, for example, the Financial Conduct Authority.
So no matter where you are, if you're involved, you could be in trouble.
Even if you aren't running the scheme, just participating can have consequences. Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Wow. Knowing the risks is important. So what can people do to protect themselves? Besides running away if they hear downline.
Skepticism. Don't just take someone's word for it, especially if they promise easy money. Do your research. Think critically.
So healthy skepticism. But what does that research look like? Where do you begin?
Start with the basics. Check with organizations like the Better Business Bureau. Look for complaints, online reviews, see what people are saying.
Don't just rely on what you're told.
Exactly. Pay attention to the compensation structure if it's overly complex, or you're making more money from recruiting than selling products. Red flag.
Goes back to that balance,
Yeah.
product or recruitment.
Exactly. Legitimate business built on products or services that people want.
And if the focus is on recruitment,
Steer clear. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If someone's pitching you, ask about their track record, their financials, the legal side of things. A legitimate business owner will be happy to provide that information if they avoid answering. Or pushy, red flag.
so I should be asking, what are your sales like? Can
Oh.
I see proof?
Exactly. Get advice from trusted sources. Talk to a financial advisor, a lawyer, a friend with business experience that can help you see things objectively.
Gather information from different sources before jumping in.
Precisely. Don't be pressured.
Makes sense. But if these schemes are often illegal, how do they stay under the radar?
They operate in a gray area. Change their structure or language. Avoid being classified as a pyramid scheme. Might emphasize the product, even if it's fake.
So they're always changing.
That's right. Sadly. Target vulnerable people, people who are desperate or easily swayed.
It's sad to think about. But knowledge is power, right? The more we know, the better.
Absolutely. Awareness is key.
We've talked about how matrix schemes work, but I think it helps to see how they play out in the real world. Any examples come to mind? Cases that show the dangers.
Lots, unfortunately. One that stands out is Burn Lounge. From the early 2000s, online music club. Members could buy and sell music.
I think I remember that. What made Burn Lounge different compared to other music services?
Good question. On the surface, product.website seemed legit, but the catch, recruitment, big upfront fees. Most money came from recruiting, not music sales.
So is the music even important? Or just a front?
The FTC, the agency we talked about, alleged it was a pyramid scheme. Disguised as a music club, music was a cover.
What happened to Burn Lounge?
FTC sued. Burn Lounge settled for millions. Shut down. Example of what happens when authorities step in.
Even if a scheme looks real. If it's all about recruitment, red flag. Other examples like that.
Absolutely. Zeek Rewards, 2010 to 2012. Penny auctions.
Penny auctions. What are those?
You bid on things. Each bid increases the price by a penny. Last person to bid wins. Often way below retail price.
Sounds risky.
It is. Penny auction sites. Often in a legal gray area. Many people consider them predatory. Zeek Rewards took advantage of that. Promised daily profits by sharing ad revenue from these auctions.
So the penny auctions were questionable. And then Zeek Rewards built on top of that.
Exactly. Like Burn Lounge. Most of the money didn't come from the auctions. It came from new recruits paying fees to join.
That same pattern. Focus on recruitment,
Right.
not the business.
Right. Zeek Rewards collapsed. Unsustainable model.
Well,
Many people lost money.
it's sad.
It is. A reminder to be careful.
Any other notable cases?
One more. Vema Nutrition Company. Energy drinks and supplements. Multi-level marketing.
So they had real products, not just penny auctions.
Right.
But something wasn't right.
The FTC. They said Vema focused on recruitment more than sales, like a pyramid scheme.
Oh.
Even with real products, they had to change their business to follow the law.
So even with a real product, the structure of the business matters.
Exactly. Look at how the money is made. Is it from selling to customers or getting more people into the system?
Important point.
These examples show us matrix schemes are tricky, can be deceptive, target anyone. But by knowing the red flags and asking questions, you can protect yourself.
Empower yourself with knowledge. Trust your gut.
Right. We're here to help. If you see something suspicious, reach out.
This has been a great deep dive. Thank you.
My pleasure.
To our listeners, we hope this helps you navigate the world of business and finance with confidence. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep. Until next time,